All right, one more little. I've got my watch just sitting on there, talking about the watch, picking up the watch components. So I would be in the future when I'm making my own stuff. I'll be not quite in focus. Yeah, maybe integrating it with Mach 3 might save a little bit of time with this stuff, but we want to focus on the pinion or the hole, the pipe, hole for the pipe. We can blow this up, and ideally we want the crosshairs exactly centered in the on the seconds pinion. Or we could do stuff like, if we want it to be around the hole and just line up the circles or whatever. But you can see we're obviously a little bit out. You can look around, and then one thing I've learned with macro shots and watches is if you spend a lot of money on a watch, keep it away from a microscope. This is a used watch. It's a Concord Mariner. They're not super fancy. They're like fancier than a Seiko, but most watches just fall apart under macro conditions, even very high-end ones. You can have a little look at the hour indices by the date. See what that looks like. You can see like little, oops. If I could, I think a dual screen setup rather than a shitty old laptop is probably the way to go for this. We can, we'll zoom in on the printed indices. Can do is we can minimize, make that a little bit bigger. Oh, there goes the second hand. Open this up. You can see the unevenness of the printing between the different seconds markers from the whatever the pad printing is. There's a full hour marker. I need to adjust my steps in the jogging for Mach 3 to make it a little bit more precise. Name. Oh, there goes the second hand. Can we catch it in focus? So the painted seconds hand, 12. Yeah, so this is fine. This is kind of the purpose that I'm going to be using these things for, is for location and edge finding for watch stuff. I don't know if anybody noticed in the little V-carve engraving test off to the side, there's a little bit of I did Habring 2's logo just for fun because it was nice and scripty. Came out pretty nice, but so yeah, you can use an inexpensive microscope to pretend you're a multi-billion-dollar Swiss watch conglomerate like Richemont or Swatch or Rolex or whatever. We'll see. I gotta do that next weekend. We're gonna try to do some dials, some work on dials in the titanium sheets. We're gonna try to mill out some indices, hour markers, so it'll look hopefully similar to like a Panerai sandwich dial, but we're just going to be using a little mill to mill out pockets in the titanium, and then I'll see how that goes and if I can fill it with loom later. But yeah, this is going to be the direction that my channel's going to go. It's going to be towards making as high-end of watch components as possible with as affordable of components, machinery as possible, including, and there's undoubtedly going to be some handwork involved, just because it's cheaper than just some of the specialized machines that you need to do this stuff. So, yeah, another rambly night video. Good night for real. I'm closing up and going home. Later.